We rely on vision to define everything: others, the world, and ourselves. But what if the deepest kind of seeing begins precisely when we close our eyes? Raymond Carver's Cathedral tells just such a story of this kind of seeing.
The author of Cathedral is Raymond Carver. He was an American short story writer and poet, renowned as a leading figure of literary minimalism. His works are characterized by concise language and focus on life's hardships and human alienation. Through the fragments of everyday life, he captures profound emotions and invites reflection with a calm yet penetrating style. Carver portrays ordinary people struggling under economic pressure, alcohol, and silence, imbuing his story with strong realism and open-ended conclusions. And here is the writing background of The Cathedral. The Cathedral is regarded as a turning point in Carver's career. Written during the economic transition of the 1980s in America, the story reflects the disillusionment of the working-class white families and industrial decline. The character of the blind man serves as a metaphor for the spiritual blindness in the materialistic society, where even those with sight fail to truly see lives, others, or themselves. The cover noted that the story originated from his reflections on prejudice and narrow-mindedness, exploring how isolated individual might achieve awakening through unexpected connection.
Second, let's talk about the peculiar iceberg theory, which means that each story can be divided into two parts. 10% of them is explicit, and the rest of 90% is implicit. In the story, Raymond Carver's Cathedral, the 10% above the iceberg is the content of the story. And this is about the narrator's wife once cared for bride Robert, and they stayed in touch via audio recordings for years. This was his first visit to their home. Initially repaired by narrator's stereotypes of black people as gloomy and pathetic, he had his prejudice shattered by Robert's daily skills and easy conversation at dinner. Late that night, they watched a Cathedral documentary together. He can describe the appearance of Cathedral to Robert and followed Robert's suggestion to draw one hand in hand, eyes closed. It is just about the daily life the narrator wrote. What's more, the rest of the 90% is about, first, Robert enriches his spiritual world through diverse means. As a blind person, he does not limit himself to physical constraints. He actively acquires knowledge and builds emotional connections by asking the narrator's wife to read to him and engaging in in-depth audio correspondence over the years. He perceives life's details through touch and hearing, as evidenced by his skillful use of tableware during meals and his insightful, easy conversation. When proposing to draw a cathedral together, he further transcends visual impairment through collaboration and imagination, providing with action that there are far more ways to perceive the world than just with one eye sees, and that spiritual richness is irrelevant to physical conditions. Second, the materialization of my cognitive blindness and prejudice. Though physical-sighted, the narrator is trapped by stereotype. He presents blind people as gloomy and pathetic, even refusing to prepare accommodation for Robert. He overlooked the precious emotional bond between his wife and Robert, feeling repelled by their audio exchanges. While watching the Cathedral documentary, he merely engaged with it superficial through sight, unable to perceive its profound meaning as Robert does, highlighting their cognitive narrowness of seeing only the surface but not the essence. Third, Robert's learning, such as understanding cathedrals and engaging in active communication, is not merely about accumulating knowledge, but about forging deep connections with others and the world. Modern people are trapped in a predicament of loneliness, relying on visual perception and superficial cognition. They gradually lose the ability to communicate with their hearts. Robert's spiritual richness and pre-active connections serve as the antidote to this predicament. True happiness stems from inner abundance and openness to others.
The Raymond Carver's Cathedral masterfully embodies the Kuroga's Rule 4, 7, and 10. First, the story aligns perfectly with Rule 4. Know where you are going from the very first sentence. The opening line, "This blind man, an old friend of my wife's, he was on his way to spend the night," is far more than a simple statement of fact. In one stroke, it established the dramatic core of the story. A narrator filled with prejudice and unease, an outsider, which is called Robert, the blind man, about to enter his private space. So like this kind of conflict among these points directly towards the story's ultimate destination, a profound test of seeing versus isolation. Thus, the first sentence sets the narrative course, ensuring that every subsequent development moves inevitably toward that necessary movement of apathy, where the narrator must close his eyes in order to truly see something. Second, the cover demonstrates the Rule 7. Let your character firmly to the end, without distracting or abusing the reader. Through his remarkable narrative restraint, like a silent guide, he firmly holds the reader's hand and follows a single psychological path, from biased observation to reluctant interaction, and finally to sheer creation. For example, he does not dwell on the death of the Robert's wives, but allow the story to progress naturally. At the climax, when the narrator closes his eyes and draws the cathedral under Robert's guidance, Carver avoids any psychological explanation. Instead, he lets the narrator describe the raw sensation. My eyes were still closed. I was in my house. I knew that, but I didn't feel like I was inside anything. The story ends with the simple, understated remark, "It's really something." This is minimalist approach to trust the reader's intelligence and empathy, inviting them to actively participate in interpreting this kind of experience. The apathy thus become not an author-imposed idea, but something felt and realized by us, by the reader. And finally, the cover strictly adheres to Rule 10. Focus on small environment of your character to capture the life of the story. He confines almost the entire narrator to the living room of the narrator's home, relegating the wife's past, Robert's life, and the outside world to the background. The story's vitality and authenticity arise entirely from the subtle, intimate interactions among the three characters on the small stage. From the narrator secretly watching Robert's awkwardly cutting his stick, to their gradually losing conservation on the sofa, added by alcohol, to their clumsy discussion about the cathedral in the glow of the television late at night. The cover places a grand theme, human spiritual isolation and the possibility of connection within this specific setting, allowing it to take roots and make us to feel this kind of story is believable. It's precisely the smallness of the living room that nurtures the greatness of the character's internal transformation.
Fourth, the 90% banister iceberg refers to the deep details not directly stated in the article, such as characters' hidden emotions and the thoughts behind their actions. The thing is the core truth refined by integrating these details. And the theme of this story is, first, true understanding lies not in judging service appearance with sizes, but in empathizing with hers and building deep connections with others. This is vividly embodied by the narrator and Robert's experience of joining the cathedral. Second, don't let stereotypes hold you back. Only by opening your heart and interacting actively with others can you escape modern loneliness. The narrator's transformation from rejecting Robert to voluntarily accompany him in joining confirms that breaking prejudice leads to freedom from isolation. Third, a person's spiritual richness does not depend on external conditions, but on the attitude of actively accepting others and exploring life. Don't write Robert perceives the world with an open mind and lives a spiritually fulfilled life. Fourth, growth means letting go of one's prejudice and learning to understand those different from oneself through real interactions. The narrator shifts from inherent biases against the bride to sincere acceptance of Robert, completes his journal of self-growth.
The Raymond Carver's Cathedral reveals something profound about human perception. What strikes me most is how the story turns the idea of seeing inside out. The blind man guides the sighted narrator to truly see, not with his eyes, but through the touch and presence. The moment when they draw the cathedral together lets them form mutual understanding between each other. It's a story about the walls we build within ourselves, the wall of prejudice, loneliness, and routine. I really love this story, so I will give it 9 points.
I think that this story influenced me a lot. Though Cathedral revolves around a simple, everyday interaction. Two strangers join a cathedral together, it powerfully mirrors prevalent modern social issues. Superficial connections and deep-seated loneliness. In a world obsessed with visual appearance and quick service-level interactions, people often judge others by stereotypes rather than engaging with their inner worlds, leaving many feeling isolated despite being surrounded by others. To solve this, we should follow the story's subtle guidance. First, let go first prejudice and avoid labeling others based on external differences. Second, embrace vulnerability and initiate sincere interactions, like the narrator's decision to draw with Robert. Small, junior moments can bridge emotional gaps. Most importantly, prioritize empathy over observations, striving to understand others' experience from their perspectives. By doing so, we can break the cycle of loneliness, build meaningful connections, and create a more inclusive society where everyone feels seen and valued.